back at you, Mrs. DeBry, Mrs. Guerrero, with our latest edition of Division.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about what is division and a couple of strategies to help you solve some division problems. So stay tuned with us.
It's going to be awesome, as it always is.
So first off, what is division? Division is the process, if you zoom in right here, Mrs. DeBry, of sharing a number of items to find out how many items will be in a group, the opposite operation of multiplication. So instead of putting everything together to see how many you have with multiplication, you're divvying it out to see how many each person would get. Okay? So we have three parts to our division problem. We have the divisor. That is the number that divides the dividend, which I'll tell you what that is in a second. The number of groups you're separating things into. So divisor, number of groups you're using. Dividend, the number that is divided up in a division problem. So how many are you starting with? The quotient is the answer to a division problem. So just like in addition, you have the sum, which is the answer to addition. You have the product is the answer for multiplication. In division, it's going to be the quotient. The quotient is the answer in a division problem. Okay, so we're going to go through this division problem together, and I'm going to show you a couple of different strategies that would work to solve it. Okay, so we're going to take 35 divided by 5, and we're going to find the quotient. Here's one way to write it. Another way to write it is with a different symbol. Both of those mean the same thing. Our quotient's going to go here and here in those equations. Same thing. Okay, so according to this, the dividend is 35. So I have 35 of something. I'm putting them into 5 groups, and I want to know how many are going to be in each group. So pretend you and 4 friends, so there's 5 of you, have 35 water balloons to have a water balloon fight. How many water balloons are each of you going to get to throw during this water balloon fight? That's going to be the answer here. Okay, so one way to do this, I'm going to erase part of this just for some space, this is my favorite inverse operation because we've already learned multiplication. We already know how to multiply, so I'm going to connect multiplication to division. The inverse operation means it's the opposite operation. Multiplication and division are opposites. So I'm going to rewrite this, and I'm going to say 5 times something equals 35. Can I skip count by 5s? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. How many is that?
7.
7. So my answer to this multiplication problem is 7, which means the answer to my division sentence here is 7. 35 water balloons, 5 kids get them. We're each going to get 7 water balloons.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is called inverse operation.
That's kind of my favorite strategy too.
Very much related to fact families, right? You can see how our fact family is started right here using the same 3 numbers, using multiplication and division. Okay, another strategy. I'm going to rewrite the question just right here. We already think we know the answer 7, so let's prove it with another strategy. This one's going to be called repeated subtraction. Okay, repeated subtraction. So keyword here, subtraction. I'm going to use subtraction to find my answer and to prove this answer correct.
So just like multiplication is repeated addition, division is just subtracting over and over and over again.
Exactly. So we're going to start with, what did we call this again? Our dividend, right? We're going to start with our dividend, and we're going to subtract groups of 5 until we get to nothing. Okay, so 35 minus 5 is 30. 30 minus 5, I'm just going to keep subtracting until I get down to 0.
So this is a good strategy, but not necessarily the most efficient.
Right, because look at how I had to move my paper to give me enough room over here. But to begin with, if this is what you can do, this is what you can do. Yep. And it gets you the answer. Okay, so now I got myself to 0. But what now? My what now is I need to figure out how many times I subtracted 5. So I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, look, 7 matches what I thought was the answer. Sweet. So I just proved my answer. My answer to 35 divided by 5 equals 7 is correct. Okay. Good. I could show this in a picture too, which I'll show you really quick, because I said right here our divisor is how many groups I have. So I'm going to draw myself 5 groups. And again, this is just another way to prove you have the correct answer. So there's 5 groups. Now I have 35 of something, so I'm just going to divvy them out evenly, equally, until I get to 35.
So it's kind of like you're dealing cards.
So I'm going to start with 2, because I know there's at least 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I still have more to go, so I'm going to do 2 more. I'll keep counting by 2s. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Keep going. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Okay, 30. If I do 2 more, I'm realizing I'm using 10 each time. That's going to be too many. Yeah. So I'm going to go down to 1. So 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Now if I count how many dots I put in each group, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They each have an equal number. They all have 7. So again, I just proved my answer, or my fancy word, quotient. The answer to a division sentence, quotient, is 7.
Perfect.
If you still have questions after watching this video, come find me.
Or me, or any of your teachers, really.